Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Ray here, and we are going to go through, check out some little updates in the surf report. You know, I was actually out surfing this morning, and in North Carolina, we have a nice little swell. But let's check out what's going on kind of along the whole coast. And as usual, I'm going to start out with NOAA, kind of going through their main model analysis with GFS wave. To kind of talk about what's happening in the Atlantic Ocean right now. Lots of excitement, lots of things happening. All right, let's see. Let's go to the beginning here. And I'm going to start out with the lower half of the US. So North Carolina to Florida. Let's talk about what's going on there. All right, and so basically this dark blue right here is pretty much flat, like flatness, no waves, zero, nada. This blue down here, like this sky blue, can be anywhere. It's usually like knee to thigh high waves, but it can be a little stronger if there's the right wind and push, more like in the waist high range. And then this is more like waist, like solid waist high surf right here. And then we get into this light blue, we're looking at like waist to chest, potentially like stomach, chest high, even like shoulder high waves. All right, so let's check out what's going on the East Coast. You can see on this part of Florida is pretty much flat right now. But right here along the whole Florida coast, we got Florida, we got Georgia, South Carolina, and into North Carolina, like right around where this push is right here. We're having like 1 to 3 foot swell, 2 to 3 foot swell. So however your beach takes that, you might have some pretty decent surf this morning in North Carolina, like right, like all through here and here. We had nice 2 to 3 foot swell coming in from this pushback here, pushing in the surf. We're getting some 2 to 3 foot swell, and basically, yeah, it was solid. We had pretty solid like thigh to waist high waves. It was a lot of fun. I was able to take out my fish and have a lot of fun in that. So let's see what's going on over the next few days to see if that's going to increase, decrease, or stay the same. So I'm going to just scroll on. Let's see, we're on Saturday, so we're getting into Saturday evening. You can see down here, like we're getting some good swell southern Florida, and this pretty much is going to stay the same all day here. Um, Now we're into Sunday. Let's check out. So that's Sunday at midnight, though. Let's check out Sunday morning. Wow. So even more push. So we're going to see even more of a push down here. Still going to be in that, um, 2 to 3 foot range of surf, though. But it looks like it's going to last throughout the weekend in basically Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and northern or southern part of North Carolina. We're going to see that nice 3 to 4 foot swell, which is awesome into Sunday. So here's Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Like check that out. Check out what's happening in Georgia. Let's just take a quick look at what's going on, what the reports are saying for Georgia for tomorrow, because it's looking like it's going to be pretty good. Um, we can just pull up really anything right now and see what it's happening to say. Let's see. Oh, I guess I'm not signed in to Surfline. But it does look like, yeah, 2 3 foot, pretty much going up into that 3 foot range. Let's see what Magic Seaweed says that it's going to be. Yeah, 2 to 3 feet, and yeah, you can see as soon as this loads, yeah, 2 to 3, a little bump there, 2 to 3. All right, so we're seeing that 2 to 3 foot swell, which is nice, and it's going to have a nice push behind it, which is going to kick it up a little bit at good spots. See, and then, I mean, look at down here. You can see the storm going through. So we're still in the Sunday. Going into Monday. You can see the backs off a little bit here. So this is going to get just a tad, weaker, but still a good push coming in there. That's Monday. Let's actually go into Monday at 6 a.m. It's backing off a little bit up here, but I think there's still going to probably be some definitely surfable wave. I mean, this here is hurricane, so they're not going to be surfing, but it's definitely going to be large waves coming in. You can see with this green, I mean, we're talking like 6, and in here like 10 plus feet, like nice high surf. But even in like, this Georgia, northern Florida area, you're coming in because we got a storm down here coming in and pushing up some stuff. So let's check out what that's going to do for the next few days too. So it looks like we're still going to have some surf Monday. It's not going to be as good because it's weakening a little bit. But look at this push here in the Monday daytime. Now we're at 6 a.m. I mean, look at that. Georgia, uh, 6 a.m. Monday, Tuesday morning. I think we're going to see some nice swell right there. With that push in that South Carolina, Georgia, I might even see something nice in Wilmington. But I don't think we have any swell on in any of the reports yet. But the GFS is usually a little ahead. So where are we? We're at Tuesday. So yeah, the reports aren't showing too much other than continuous that 2 to 3 foot swell coming in, which is about what this is. But with this push coming in right behind it, we might get a little more than that. And you can see this moving right along. Look at that. And then down here, we got another storm that's going to push more swell into us. So we're in Wednesday. Oops, let's go to Wednesday, 6 a.m. in the morning. So still got that same like 1 to 3 foot swell coming in for this whole area. So we're seeing days of surf, like minimum solid days of surf, at least longboard, if not fishable waves. So that's pretty nice. We go into Wednesday, still that same swell, but look, you can see whatever happens with this storm down here. I'm hoping it doesn't hit anybody. We come into Tuesday, 6 a.m. even more. That's when we're going to see more of a push here in southern North Carolina. But I still don't think we're going to really see more than waist. I think we're going to see some waist high morning surf as long as it's clean for the next like 5+ days. So we're getting into Thursday now. Jeez, we're really... you can see this push in here. I wonder what this push is really going to do. We're in Friday morning still, just that, 2 to 3 foot surf. This is predicted to really go under here and go into Florida as really nothing, which is good. I'm glad it's given us some waves and not really going to hit anyone bad. But we get into Friday morning still, that 2 to 3. So we're looking at a pretty solid going into Saturday, 6 a.m. for the next week. Solid waves across this whole area pretty much of maybe not northern Outer Banks. Outer Banks isn't really going to see it, but the rest of the state from, here all from like Buxton down to southern Florida is going to have some kind of surf, which is pretty cool. It's going to be that 2 to 3 foot range. In southern Florida here, especially like assuming that's predicted, that's a solid like chest high surf coming in right there, if not bigger. But that's going to be around a tropical storm, so you know how you got to time that right, either before or after, when it's actually clean, when it's coming in or it goes out. But we're definitely going to have some solid like waist, like in good spots, like waist, maybe in a little better surf for the next solid week, which is just awesome. I'm really excited about that. Okay, let's go to the northern part of the U.S. and see what's going on there. It's not going to be as active because they don't have as big as storms coming in right now, like the southern part does with all this activity in the ocean. But we still have a little something. So, as I said, this blue right here is completely flat. This sky blue is we're getting into like longboard territory. Like you can surf if you want to. You're on a vacation, it's the only time you can do it. You're going to be able to surf. I like to see this a lot more, especially this pushing in. Like southern Virginia here is going to get into more like that 2 to 3 foot. Let's see what it's saying for Virginia right now, actually. Let's go in and check out what some of the reports are saying for that area of Virginia. I'm seeing like a nice like 2 to 3 foot, like 1 to 3 foot swell there right now. So yeah, 2 feet. So that's what we're seeing right now is a nice little 2 foot push. And this is definitely a surfable wave. It's not going to be anything great, but you're going to have something. All right, so let's go in and check out what's going on along the rest of the East Coast. So this push right here is nice, but the rest of this is still going to have like a 1 to 2 foot. That's at least longboard wave. So we get in that Saturday. We move on into Sunday. We still got this little push in Virginia. Not really much else. This is all getting in the flat territory where there's really nothing, and this is just staying in that 1 to 2 foot range. Jersey and New York staying in that 1 to 2 foot range. And you can see this is disappearing, fading a little bit. Still like that 1 to 2 feet. We're going into Monday now. This is progressively just getting worse and worse. You know, it's always good to pay attention to the pattern because if the swell's pushing in, you're getting more surf, whereas if it's pushing out, even in here, I'm starting to see some blue, and this is pushing away like from the Virginia area. So this is going to get a little smaller, but there should be a surfable longboard wave here, at least when you have the right wind and right tide. So that's getting into Monday. So this is Monday in the day. We can see what's going on. We're getting into Tuesday. It's getting really flat up here. There's a little something forming here, but it's not going to be much. And even it's getting worse and worse. So we're looking at worse surf going into the week, going into Monday, Tuesday. So now we're in Wednesday, 6 a.m. Still that like 1 foot, if not flat surf. You're going to be, you know, during this time, you're going to be looking for the better spots. I mean, Wednesday, not much happening. Thursday, still the same thing. This is Thursday at 6 a.m. Same thing. This does fill in a little better. So the people, you know, up in New Hampshire, my sister's surfing in New Hampshire. That's where she lives. And up in Maine area, you're going to have a little, if you're really desperate to get out after that flat spell, you're going to have a little longboard wave maybe. You know, we're in Thursday, just staying similar. We're seeing a little formation here, which is going to give a little push to this whole entire area. So we, you know, going into next weekend, you all, for that Friday, Saturday, you might see a little something, especially pushing over here. We can see these storms, and look down here. We can see what's going on. But pretty much it looks like all week in that whole northern part from Virginia up, you're going to see like a 2 foot swell, 1 to 3 feet. So anywhere from flat to, you know, thigh high surf. But that's what's going on right now. And then if we go into check out what the storms are actually doing, you know, looking at the patterns right now, where they're headed. You know, because that's going to change around the surf. We've got Fred and we've got Grace. So Fred is completely not really going to provide anything to the East Coast right now. It's this western coast of Florida. You can see it's going in there. It's not really giving us anything. So what I'm really watching right now is Grace, because this was yesterday L95, then it turned into Invest 7, and now it's Tropical Storm Grace. And you can see it's a storm. And right now they're pushing for it. This is the 11 a.m. update, so they just updated it. Go into that southern part of Florida as a tropical storm, which, while I don't want anyone to get hit with a storm, they were calling for this to potentially be like a category 3 or 4, and some models still are showing that. So this could turn into a very dangerous storm, but let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it just stays a tropical storm. But you can see it's not really going to provide much except to the southern coast, maybe mid close to Florida. It's really not providing that much for us. But let's just take a look at what, L7, they're still calling it, what some of the models are showing for this storm. So you can see the GFS, this is the American model. They're really showing this stay down here. And that's 120 hours out. So they're really showing it even go way below Florida now. And then we've got, this is showing it go up here, still staying. So we're, you know, the Euro models are still showing that. We've got the global models still showing it hit here, and some are showing it go and skirt right up the coast here like this. And if it does that, what some of those models are showing is it actually go riding right along up the coast in the Virginia. And if it does that, I'll show you that in 1 second. But this is what's a little scary, is they are a lot of the models are keeping it as a storm, which is great. Some are showing it pop up into this scary category 4 intensity. Let me show you what some of the models are actually showing. So I think GFS is actually showing it skirt up the coast. So let's see. So right here's Fred. Disappears. Okay, now we're looking at this Invest right here, and that's a tropical storm, that 997 staying at 1,000, 94, 90, and look at that. Look what they're showing to happen. Watch it ride right along the whole coast of Florida. Boom, ride up, stay as a tropical storm. Look, this is going to produce surf, but it's going to be crummy because it's pushing out. First of all, it's just going to provide, like, this is just going to be a bunch of rain, disorganized storm. But as it goes away, first of all, this whole part is going to see some swell as it goes away, but it looks like kind of rainy and stormy. But where it's going to get the best is going to be this Virginia and Jersey. As this storm pushes away right here, it's going to be pumping surfing. But that's what the GFS, so what it's all about, this storm right here, is when it actually makes this turn, when and if it makes that turn. Now they're calling it making that turn at 180 hours out. So they're calling it B right here in 150 hours, which is, how many days is that? Let's see, I'm not in math mode today. 150 divided by 24 equals 6.25 days. So we've still got a lot of time for this storm to change up. Now it's going to get bad. If this storm decides to turn right here, it might come up and smack like me or one of these states and be pretty pumping of a storm. They're just not calling for it to do that, which is a good thing right now. As you can see, the Weather Channel is really pushing it for it to go down here. So that's it. That's everything. That's what's happening in the surf today. So and for the next week. So yeah, that's it. I'll be back another day. Not sure, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day with some updates later.